Harry reacts to Harry. You know how we do, baby. And we're going back to a session I did with the legendary Beardyman. For those who don't know, Beardyman is a truly legendary improviser, vocal percussionist, beatboxer, but so much more. He's an incredible beatboxer. Just him and a mic would astound you, but over the decades, he has created his own technology to allow him to use just his mouth to create like full-fledged productions on the fly that are completely improvised. It's really incredible. He has his own rig with like 4 iPads, like all rigged together, and all of that feeds into Ableton, and he's able to do just amazing things, all born from his own voice. And so we got to collaborate when I was in London. This is from I think Energy Exchange in Europe, right? So so this is an older clip of the first time I collaborated with him, and it was a legendary session, small room session. There were probably, I don't know, 20 people there or something. Yeah, 20, 30 people. So this is a clip from that. It's called Ecstasy.
Oh yeah.
Let's check it out.
Give me a word, give me a word.
Ecstasy.
I'm too tall, they can't measure me. I put my words together so cleverly. I never sell out cause I'm forever me. Even if I claim fame and celebrity, I'll still be rhyming off the top when I'm 70. I'm on a cloud cause my style's so heavenly. Yeah, and the game can't pressure me. When I rhyme, I move through your system like ecstasy.
Hey, pause it real quick.
Wealth.
So dope. First of all, shout out to Beardyman. There he is right there, killing it. That bass sound is going crazy. And shout out to Lean, another really dope MC based out there in London, I believe, out in Europe for sure. And he's the dude rocking the Atari sweatshirt. And we actually got to jam together at this session, which happens in another clip that you guys should check out. But he's a really dope freestyler as well. There he is. But dope, man. So yeah, this is basically like a super long setup. So what I was doing is the word is ecstasy. So here's one of the things you find, right? Like as you start freestyling more and more and you do it more on video, people start checking out how you do it, and then they're able to predict what you're going to do. So like setup punchline is such I've talked about it so much and I've utilized it so much that if you are hip to it, then you kind of know. Like if I lift this up and I say, yo, the game can't stop me, then you know I'm going to say something about waking them up like the coffee, right? So you're ready for it. So a lot of people like will tell me that, like, yo, I watch your videos and I can like say all the punchlines with you. Like I know where, I just follow your eyes. And even you, like Sam, like when we're doing the walkthrough, it's like the camera is going to the target.
I was gonna say, that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. So, which I think is great, you know, like I'm not about like hiding the tricks, but when the shit does get predictable, then you do have to figure out how you're going to mix it up, right? And the cool thing is anything that is predictable is only predictable if you don't ever counterbalance it with something else. Then when you go back to it, now it's unpredictable again. So it's about toggling and just throwing in other options. So like for this is one way that I can obscure like where the word is coming by, instead of doing a setup punchline, it's a setup punchline. So it's like at any point during that, you're like, okay, he's going to say ecstasy, but you don't know when it's coming. So every other bar, you're like, all right. Oh, heavenly. Okay. Oh, never me. Okay. All right. And then finally at the end, the big reveal of ecstasy. So anyway, that's a cool little trick for the freestylers out there.
Why when I'm filming, I have to be careful to like never actually think that I know where you're going, because like I like to pan over at whatever the reference is, like kind of right when you give the punchline, but there's actually no saying like how many setups are coming or what's happening. So.
Yeah. You don't want to reveal it too early.
And sometimes I do.
Yeah, that's fine, man. Hey, it's tough, dude. I'm trying to trick you, man. I'm trying to trick everybody.
Give me a word, give me a word.
Ecstasy.
I'm too tall, they can't measure me. I put my words together so cleverly. I never sell out cause I'm forever me. Even if I claim fame and celebrity, I'll still be rhyming off the top when I'm 70. I'm on a cloud cause my style's so heavenly. Yeah, and the game can't pressure me. When I rhyme, I move through your system like ecstasy. H-Mack, I'm building the wealth. Like fizz in your system, got you feeling yourself. Yeah, every time I rhyme, I simply let the raps lay. Trying to be a legend, R.I.P. to Mack Dre. I'm about to break it down, y'all know I get ill when I spill. I'm addictive like an ecstasy pill. Yeah, every time I rhyme, time I'ma show the scene that when I flow, I be boosting out your dopamine. H-Mack, I'ma win. They can't fuck with him. They listen to my flow, it's like a dopamine binge. Yeah, and y'all know we ain't making mistakes. The high is so monumental, you'll be taking a break. When I'm finished, I go through highs and lows. I never have to write it down, I'd rather improvise my flows. Yeah, all these rappers stepping up is feeling threatened. Word to ecstasy, cause my rhymes got you sweating. It's H-Mack, man, you know I came to slaughter. So nice, I could probably make you overdose on water. H-Mack, I came to amaze. I'm here to blaze. I got them dancing like we all at a rave. Ecstasy, electrically inclined to shine and rhyme immeasurably. Yes, it's me. Ain't nobody testing me. I'm blessed with freeze. Rappers I digest with ease. What? I said I'm about to shit them out. What I spit about.
All right, pause it real quick. Okay, dope. Few things. So one, this is basically just like a classic example of scheming. What's called scheming, like from the battle rap world, it's called scheming, because scheme can also mean a rhyme scheme, which is something different. But this is like a thematic scheme. So like all from the word ecstasy, it's like I'm milking it for everything I know. And actually, this is a great tie-in to the thing about free association, although don't necessarily share this clip with your 8-year-old daughter. But this is that skill on display, because I'm trying to free associate, and I'm doing the setup punchline, and I'm thinking of I have ecstasy in the middle, and I'm drawing out lines to other words. So from ecstasy, I went to Mack Dre, R.I.P. to Mack Dre, who had a song called The Thizzle Dance, and Thizz is ecstasy. So I go to him, I go to, we're dancing at a rave, I got you sweating, I can make you overdose on water, which is this crazy thing that can happen if you take too much ecstasy. You can actually drink too much water and die, which seems impossible. So these are just random things that I know, about ecstasy, right? And so I'm free associating in this way. Another cool thing too is like this bass sounds like it would be on a Mack Dre track. Like it sounds very much like a classic like Bay Area hip hop like synth bass sound. So that was really dope that happened to coincide. And yeah, so the rules of this game is just like, as long as I can always free associate a new target word every couplet, then I'm killing it. And there was one point in there where I said, like, I navigate the highs and lows. I don't write it. I would rather improvise the flows. That was like a full couplet that didn't necessarily have that much to do with ecstasy. Only like loosely, because I said highs and lows. So that's okay. But like if I was in the practice room, I would be like, nah, that's negative 10 points, because that was one couplet that I let go that kind of could have gone anywhere. I could always say I navigate the highs and lows. I don't write it. I would rather improvise the flows, which doesn't mean it's whack. It's not bad, and it doesn't take away. But up until that point, it was like every line tied directly back. And I talked about the dopamine and the dopamine binge. And so, and then at the end, that was a cool thing you can do too, is I had already used up so many ecstasy multisyllabic rhymes in that 7 setup 1 punchline that it was like, even I probably thought I used all the ones I knew. And then randomly, after doing all that, I was just like, ecstasy, I'm blessed with freeze, who they can never see. I like packed in like 6 other new ones, So that's just like a random, and it's not conscious. I'm not like, oh, now I'll do that. But it's subconscious, and it is like, it's there to serve me because I practice so much, and I'm so used to this sort of like working with the crowd and toggling and being like, well, this will be fascinating at this point because of X, no pun intended. But it's like if I do a lot of multisyllabic ecstasy rhymes here, that's crazy because I already used so much of the bank back here. So anyway, that's kind of an interesting thing too. And I definitely got lucky because I was listening to that and I was like, oh, there's going to be some repeats. And I don't think there were. I think all of those were new ecstasy rhymes. So pat myself on the back, but I definitely got lucky. And in other instances, when I do that, it's very likely that I would have repeated 1 or 2. So, that's the other fun thing about improvising is there's lots of happy accidents and you get lucky and then you sound better than you really are. So anyway, keep it rocking.
Yes, it's me. Ain't nobody testing me. I'm blessed with freeze. Rappers I digest with ease. What? I said I'm about to shit them out. What I spit about. Bring the rhythm out. This is not some shit to kid about. I'm about to hit you now. You know I'm getting love. Yeah, right now we rhyming about drugs. So let me put it down while I spit a bit of propane. They gon' sniff my lyrics up like a line of cocaine. All these rappers in the game are embarrassing. They cherish him. Put my lyrics in your vein. Heroin. H-Mack, man, they call him calling me a rap star. Bear the witness, cause my flow addictive like the black tar. Yeah, I'm changing rap to a better scene. Cleverly, go from ecstasy on to ketamine, flowing heavily. Y'all know I drop it hard, rocking bars. When I spit,
pause it right there. That's another freestyle moment where, so now I'm obviously just doing a drug scheme. It's the same game, but now the word at the top of the list is no longer ecstasy, now it's drugs. So then that opens up a whole new line of thinking. That is a moment where when I watch it, I get excited again because I know how excited I was in the moment when I thought of ketamine and realized it rhymes with ecstasy. So then I was like, oh, great. So now I can do this full circle tie back. And again, it's more multisyllabic words that rhyme with ecstasy. And I didn't notice, maybe there were some repeats in there, but the crux of it is saying, I'll take from ecstasy to ketamine. And it's like, oh, it's one of those explosive moments. And again, that came to me in the moment because I was free associating drugs. So I went from cocaine to heroin to black tar. I hope we don't get demonetized. And then I thought of ketamine, and then I realized ketamine rhymes with ecstasy. And I was like, that's fucking perfect. And that's, again, what's so fun about improvising is things like that happen that you never could have planned or predicted. And they create those explosive moments that are exciting for the audience, but also for me.
They gon' sniff my lyrics up like a line of cocaine. All these rappers in the game are embarrassing. They cherish him. Put my lyrics in your vein. Heroin. Mack, man, they calling me a rap star. Bear the witness, cause my flow addictive like the black tar. Yeah, I'm changing rap to a better scene. Cleverly, go from ecstasy on to ketamine, flowing heavily. Y'all know I drop it hard, rocking bars. When I spit, you know I bring lots of bars. But some of those drugs be bringing drama. So rather than that, we rolling up the marijuana. It's my honor. We getting lifted. I keep it gifted like joints. I get twisted. I persisted. I got what you need. Making tracks bleed. Oh, okay. Yo, I got you, dog. Trust you. I'm about to bust through. He was like, "Where's the verse about the magic mushrooms? Those other drugs you spew in the phlegm, but we want to hear a verse about hallucinogens." I was like, "Dog, I got you. You know they can't test me. I'ma have you tripping out like the LSD." Mack, y'all know the people. They know me. Go to the cactus and shave off some peyote. Hit, put it in my system, y'all know I make people listen. Off the magic mushrooms, I be seeing visions. I was still on Earth, but I felt close to Saturn. Plus I looked at random trees and I saw facial patterns. It was crazy, I felt connected. I mean, my whole entire body was affected. I was like, yo, this drug right here is dumb fly. You saying I can go to the moon off of some fungi? Yo, I be taking the shrooms, making speaker systems boom when we up in the room.
Boom. Hey, boom. That rhymed. Hell yeah. Dude, yeah, sick. So yeah, there it is again, just more. It really is the free association game. And it's tying it into all these other like foundational techniques, like the setup punchline and rhyme inside a rhyme and multisyllabic rhyming and all like the basics of rap that we can really tie back to Rakim, right? And others, but Rakim is a major figure in like a lot of these foundational techniques. And it's like I have that as a foundation, and then through practicing free association, I'm able to kind of like explore a whole universe, even if only one word is given. And I wasn't always able to do it like to that degree in that video. That's like I feel like that's a really strong example of it. And sometimes it doesn't work that well. That was like a great night. You know, that was like a really awesome night. And Beardyman is amazing. He's cooking up the beat live and doing all these changes and making it so saucy and incredible. So there was a lot of inspiration in that room. Sometimes it doesn't go that well. But in general, I used to not even really be able to do it at all. And it was something that I practiced out of necessity because I wanted to be able to go for a long time off like just a single suggestion, because I felt like that was going to help me be able to scale what I do. Because like to always need like people to be constantly throwing words and yelling them out in real time is great. Like if I'm on a corner somewhere in a cypher, but as soon as like I'm on a stage and there's a rail and security guards and I can't hear anything that any one person is saying, I was like, oh, I need to be able to improvise for a long time in a way that's like valuable and impressive and connects with the whole audience, but just like based on one singular input. And so that's kind of like what we saw there.
What was it like working with Beardyman? That was the first time, right?
Yeah.
Did the beats just hit right away and you like caught them, or was it some adjusting?
Hell yeah. I mean, dude, it was epic. Like, that dude is so fucking sick. I mean, he's so talented. He's an alien for sure. Shout out to Beardyman. But yeah, no, you know, there's always, anytime you're improvising with other people, there's always like a little, the first, you know, like 15 minutes, you're kind of like getting to know each other on the bandstand though, like through the music. Because, you know, improvisation is a conversation. So, same thing like when I did Mark Rebier's stream for the first time, you know, the first like 10 to 15 minutes, we're kind of like feeling each other out. I'm trying to just pay attention and keep my antenna up and learn how he likes to communicate through the music. And then he's doing the same. And so it's this really like this mutual kind of like we're listening, but also contributing, you know, you don't want to just only be listening and playing the background, because then you're not adding anything to the conversation. So yeah, first 10 to 15 minutes, we're kind of like getting on the same page. And then after that, it's like, oh, okay, I see how you do it. You see how I do it. And now we feel where this synergy lives. And then we're able to just like take it and blast off. But yeah, shout out to Beardyman. It's so dope when the beats are also being improvised.
So wild, man.
Yeah, that's really some next shit right there.
Those sessions blow my mind every time.
Dude, insane. Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool too. Like it got a little like there's these kind of like different tonalities that I enter when I'm freestyling. I'm learning this about myself through watching the videos. Through like watching back the film, so to speak. But like, yeah, for a while it was just like, for most of that, it was kind of just like vicious bars, you know, bars about drugs, you know, using drugs to talk about how I'm a dope rapper, like put my lyrics in your vein, heroin. And I would say that's kind of like the basic approach that I use is like so-called battle rhymes, right? Like on some hip hop shit, like basically saying I'm the GOAT, which is not even like that's not factual. Cause like there's Nas, you know, and there's Rakim and there's these other people I mentioned. So, you know, definitely listen to them. But as a rapper, you know, every rapper says they're the GOAT. That's hip hop. So that's my kind of like basic way of rapping is to be boastful and braggadocious and stuff like that. And I'm just pulling in these words as ways of making metaphors about me being dope as a rapper, right? That's like your standard shit. But then, another mode that I sometimes enter is this like more conversational mode. Like when the guy leaned in and was like, do mushrooms. Oh yeah. Then it's like, what? It breaks my flow. I got to listen to him. And they're like, oh, okay, I got you. And then it's almost like I'm talking to him, right? But to the crowd. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, he's saying, Mack, you really know how to crush, dude. But we want to hear a rhyme about the mushrooms. Because also those other verses, you were spewing the phlegm, but we want to hear some shit about hallucinogens. And then I'm like, and then once I'm in that conversational mode, the nature of the rhymes is different. And I start talking about how like I was outside feeling like I'm on Earth, but then I started leaving to another universe. And so now it's more storytelling, like a little bit more narrative and more like I'm talking to you, like I'm talking to one person, but it's the whole audience. And so that's interesting to me, you know?
Super interesting, yeah.
Because that happens organically. I never really thought about it. But there's these sort of different like modes that I step into, and they're all cued by the audience and whatever is happening randomly. Like that guy leaning in then like pushed it in a direction. It's like there's all these tiny little nudges and subtle things that happen that affect the tonality of the performance. But so anyway.
That's super cool.
Hell yeah.
You always have a good understanding of like the pacing too. Like you just murdered those like drug bars with that tone for so long, and then like flipping it at a certain time is so refreshing for the entire track.
Totally, dude. Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate that. And it's just more what I call toggling, you know? If you do any one thing for too long, even if it's amazing, it gets stale. And then like the power of just like, oh, well, let's just like go over here for a while. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, okay, now we're back here. And it feels completely new again, you know? So yeah, it's fun, man. Freestyling.